You are a man, or woman, with an unknown name. You have been tasked by the Emperor to investigate the death of King Lysandus of Daggerfall, as well as figure out why a letter the Emperor sent never arrived to the Queen of Daggerfall. You start your journey shipwrecked at Privateer's Hold. After escaping the dangerous dungeon, you head about your business. Eventually, you will be given a letter by Lady Briziana, Lady Magnuson, an agent of the Blades. She wishes to meet with you at a random city at a random inn. You meet with this woman in a brown cloak who tells you that King Lysandus haunts the streets of Daggerfall, moaning the word vengeance with his ghostly army at night. She tells you to talk to the other major powers of the Iliac Bay, Daggerfall, Sentinel, and Wayrest. As for the missing letter, she does not know much, though she does suggest checking with Castle Daggerfall to see if the letter even arrived at all. Eventually, you will receive a letter from Princess Morgiah of Wayrest. She is sister to Prince Lalu Helseth, who will later become King of Morrowind. She says she can give you information if you go to her and do her a little favor. And so you go meet her in Castle Wayrest, wrapped in a pretty red dress with her dark elven skin. She tells you to deliver a simple letter to Scourge Barrow in the Dragontail Mountains. Deliver it to a high-level sorcerer, who turns out to be the King of Worms, Marco. The letter you deliver says, I agree to your terms. I will give you my first, and you will exert your influence on the King of Firsthold on Somerset Isle. Only you can let him speak with his dead son. For that, he would even marry Nulfaga. M. And so you deliver the letter in the dungeon filled with undead to Marco. He gives you a letter as a response to Morgiah's request, and it simply reads, Princess. Done, King of Worms. Return and she will exclaim, It's done. I'll be Queen of Firsthold. Although I'm sure the engagement will be quite lengthy. Now, I promised you information about the Emperor's letter. She then gives you the information she promised. The letter is in the hands of Gortwog, warlord of the Orcs, who bought it from the Thieves' Guild after someone stole it from Queen Obgi. That is all she knows. She also gives you a bonus, a little advice. Talk with Minnesera, former Queen of Daggerfall, and Queen Mother to King Gothrid. But don't talk with her directly. Talk to a lower station person of hers. Once you reach level 5, Sindasa, a maid of Minnesera's, will give you the information, for a favor. Kill a werewolf for her in some random dungeon, and she'll give you the information. Afterwards, she tells you the info. She claims that the werewolf was her brother, who got infected with lycanthropy and wanted to help end his suffering. She then tells you that she received the letter from the Emperor and gave it to Queen Obki, current Queen of Daggerfall. After Obki ripped open the letter, she realized it was meant for Minnesera, and her jaw fell open and eyes were wide from reading the letter. Next, you can talk with Minnesera. She tells you that she never received the letter directed toward her, which means Obki did indeed open the letter from the Emperor. She then tells you that her former husband Lysandus died at Kainjane, as did the former King Cameron. His body was not recovered, so a monument was erected there rather than his true tomb. She then tells you that the courier, whose name is Random, was a member of the Knights of the Dragon. She instructs you to go find the man at a random building at a random town and ask why the letter addressed to her was delivered to Obki. If you talk to Obki about this, she says that the letter was stolen from her the day she received it, which correlates well with the idea that it was stolen by the Thieves' Guild. But what she says next does not match. I never did read it. I would be most grateful if you would let me personally deliver it to Minnesera. You'll then find the knight in the random town who says he is loyal to Minnesera, but knows that a former courier disemboweled the last person that tried to ambush them, and they're at a random city's palace. Go to the palace and you'll meet the contact. They claim, yes, they delivered the person to the Queen of Daggerfall. I think I wrote the script wrong. who was at the time of arrival Obki, not Minasera, and they apologize. Take this jewel that was given to the courier by Obki to Minasera as proof. When you report to Minasera, she will confirm that indeed it does make sense that to deliver the letter to the current queen and not the former queen. She does not trust Obki and wants that letter. Grab the letter from Gortwog. And so you go to Orsinium and talk to Gortwog, who says that indeed he has the letter, but it is deep in the dungeons of Orsinium, and you can have it, if you can find it. After retrieving the letter from the depths of the castle, you read it. It says, Queen Minasera, I have grave news. The totem of Tiber Septim has been found, and you know what this means. The power behind Tiber Septim could be unleashed upon Tamriel once again. Rumor has it that Lord Woodbourne, a minor lord of Wayrest, has possession of it. He will doubtless lose it soon. You must persuade him to turn it over to you or Lady Briziana. The court of Wayrest has no love of King Lysandus, but you still have influence there. I am asking you to use it on my behalf. Uriel Septim, Emperor of Tamriel. Deliver the letter to Minasera. She will say that this is dangerous, and Gortwog definitely sold copies of it to everyone from Wayrest to the Underking, and that everyone wants that totem. Go find the totem and deliver it to her to give to the Emperor. This quest is now on hold, and you will, while doing this little quest, continue your other one, finding out who killed Lysandus. You will receive a letter by Prince Lotan of Sentinel. It will tell you that he has information regarding Lysandus, and you should visit him in Sentinel. Upon arriving, he will tell you that his older brother, when asked what happened to him, he was always told a different story about him. Some say his brother died. Some say that he was kidnapped by the Underking. He wants to figure this all out, and to ask around town. However, this does nothing. Instead, you'll get another letter saying that if you want to learn the truth, meet him in a random inn in a random town in Sentinel. Arrive, and he will say to check this random dungeon. He marks it on your map. Getting inside, you will find various letters describing the horrifying truth. He was seized by men and stuffed into a bag, tied up and gagged. They left him in this dungeon, the men suspected to have been hired by Obki or his own parents. He cannot find the exit, which is blocked by many dangerous creatures. He regrets not studying magic to get out, like the Underking, and he died here. Return the letter. Lotan will say that Queen Minasera banished Medora Dureni from the court, and you should talk to her somewhere on the Isle of Balfiera, specifically at Dureni Tower. Go through the annoying dungeon and find Medora, guarded by a lich. She will tell you that Nulfaga, mother of former Lord Lysandus, was a mystic. Earlier on, you will have to check up on the woman who is absolutely crazy for Obki. And then continue to find a unicorn horn from Shedungent to bring to Medora. Go to Shedungent, get the horn, bring it back to Medora, and she instructs you to bring her back the dust of restful death held by a mummy. Do this annoying quest and bring it back to her, going through Dureni Tower's dungeon a third time. Now she has the horn and the dust. She asks you to wait 21 days and come back. Go through the dungeon again a fourth time and talk to her. However, while waiting, you can do two quests which are required. Steal a painting for Queen Akrithia of Sentinel from Castle Wayrest, and meet some agent of the Underking to infiltrate a castle and remove some random magical item from the castle. After 21 days, return to Medora. She will give you the dust of restful death, and she gives you the true location of Lysandus' body, located in Daggerfall, and to sprinkle the dust on the corpse to talk to him. Do as you're told, and he will tell you that he was murdered by Lord Woodbourne of Wayrest. He marks the location of Woodbourne Hall on your map. Travel there, and you can do one of two things. You can slay Woodbourne, or recover parts of his diary that confess to the murder. Give it to Obki, and she will have him executed. Either way, your second quest is complete. Lysandus has his vengeance, and you solve the mystery of the letter. And only one thing remains. Do as you were instructed, and find the totem of Tiber Septim in Daggerfall's dungeon. You will receive a letter from Lady Briziana once again, who tells you to meet her. She will tell you that the blades need that totem. Bring it to her to give to the Emperor. After retrieving the totem, which looks like a dead baby wrapped in blankets, it will tell you that you are unworthy of holding the totem and to give it to an heir of Tiber Septim, someone who is worthy, within 1 year and 1 day. You will then receive many letters from various people promising you various rewards. Akarethi tells you that the totem is not for commoners, and she will give you 100,000 gold for it. King Edware says he has searched for it for many years and will pay you a large sum of money for the totem. He doesn't. Instead, he sends killers after you. Gortwog wishes to create an orcish homeland for his people and will give you the Warlock's Ring. It'll be Chrysamere as of a recent patch in the game, but a bug prevents you from getting anything. Gothrad promises you gold and calls you a coward. Manimarco says that the totem will let him become a god and leave behind his earthly shell, and that it is dangerous for anyone else to hold. If you give him a totem, he will make you famous, which means increased reputation with everyone. The Underking tells you he wants to simply die so that he will no longer be undead, and will give you the Necromancer's Amulet. And Briziana promises you the Warlock's Ring. Choose a person to give the totem to, get your reward, and then suddenly, Nolfaga will speak to you through telekinesis. She will tell you to visit her, and she sounds strangely sane now that her son Lysandus is at peace. Go to her, and she will say this riddle. Only crowned heads will hold the totem true. First is one who killed but did not kill another. Second is one who too devoured by its young. Third is one who made one slave and many free. Fourth and fifth are two who compete for mud. Sixth is one who brings a home to the homeless. Seventh is one who lords all but does not lord at all. I do not know who of these seven is most worthy of the power. For too long have I let my passions make me mad. Sometimes the fate of a world hang on the decision of one person. You have chosen who will command great Numidium, and you bear the burden for the consequences. I send you now to the Mantella Crux, the safeguard prison of the Mantella. Look for a green jewel of unusual size. Merely touch the Mantella, and it is freed. You will be transported back to my side. After going through the incredibly difficult final dungeon, you will touch the Mantella, Numidium's power source. You then will be told what happened to the Iliac Bay, depending on who gave you the totem. Who you gave the totem to. Akarethi, Edware, Gortwog, and Gothrad use Numidium to crush all others in the Iliac Bay and make their region dominant. The King of Worms becomes a god, the Underking dies, and the Emperor uses Numidium to crush rebelling kingdoms and restore order to the Empire. And then you are done. Something that people don't talk about is what happened as a result of this. The entire event is known as the Warp in the West, a dragon break. Activating Numidium broke time itself, making it non-linear. All of the endings happened at once due to timey-wimey gobbledygook, and it was named the Miracle of Peace. Since everyone got what they wanted, this resulted in one other thing: the creation of Talos. Letting the Underking die resulted in his soul fusing within the Mantella to complete the Zurin Arctis, Tiber Septim, and Ysmir Wolfhearth union to create the god Talos, which is now heavily worshipped in the Empire. Yes, you created Talos.